Hello again, friends. Okay, last time we left off, we got PCGen. We downloaded the self-contained portable folder zip file and extracted it, and we left off right here in the program. So I'd like to get some updated or some homebrew data, and in order to do that, we can go ahead and close PCGen down, and I can go to. There's a couple of ways to do this. First, I'll kind of talk through the more manual way, because it's perfectly acceptable. So back in the PCGen GitHub, which is github.com/PCGen/PCGen, because we're in the main repository. This data folder right here contains the actual book data for a lot of different books. And so if we wanted to get this data, what happens with the GitHub is a lot of different people from a lot of different places can pull this down and do what's called a pull request. They pull it down and they can make edits to things, and then they will push those back up and they will get approved by the people who run PCGen. And once they're approved, they get added to this what you would call repository. This is a GitHub repository. So in order to get the latest and greatest, you can see like this folder stands for 3.5e, had some stuff updated 2 months ago. Some things haven't been updated in 10 years. This one had something 4 months ago. And if you were to look under releases here, the release package that we downloaded was actually last put together in February 4th of 2003. So it's almost 2 years old, which is the last one that they've put together. So if you've downloaded it and you're using it and you're happy with everything, then run it the way you want. Otherwise, you can come in here and manually click right here on this drop down code, and you would download the zip. Now that's going to download this whole repository, which has the code and how you would build the file and a lot of additional things. But once you have that zip downloaded, you would extract that zip folder, that zip to a folder, and then you would basically take this data folder here that you would extract, the new data folder, and you would copy it in and overwrite the data folder here in your PCGen folder. And that will get you the latest set of committed changes that they have in the PCGen repository. Another option, let me step back. And then also, if you're playing on like anybody's campaign who uses any type of homebrew, and I will use ours as an example, you would navigate to, you can either have them send you the files that are required in a zip, download them and extract them into the homebrew folder, which is inside of data, and then inside of we do Pathfinder, and inside Pathfinder there's a homebrew folder, which you can see right now my homebrew folder is empty. So this is kind of their template here, but I don't have any additional folders for homebrew data. So for ours, if we went to, we're hosting one here. Excuse me. Let's go grab it out of here. Here it is. Here's me, GitHub, my name, Homebrew, and then I have some homebrew data here for my DM, whose name is Randy. And I can do the same thing. I could, download this and basically download these files and put them into a homebrew folder. The other option is, if you are privy here with us, is I have written a tool, and it's right here in our Discord. It's going to tell you it's potentially dangerous. That is true. Don't trust anyone. But if you want to trust me, this can make your life a little bit easier. Continue to download. And then I go ahead and would just save this in your PCGen folder. And I like putting everything in the PCGen folder because it keeps it all in one place. If you wanted to move it or throw it on a USB stick or take it with you somewhere else, everything's in that one folder. It just makes life easier. So I'm going back to my main PCGen folder, and I have Kai's PCGen utility.exe. So when you run that, it's telling me that it's potentially not safe. That's because I'm not going to pay hundreds of dollars for Microsoft to tell you guys that my program is safe. I did code this myself. Happy to share the source code with anyone. I will actually probably put it on GitHub before too long so that the world can have it. So you saw I downloaded and ran my own program. All this program does is update your sources for you. So the first thing we need to do is we have to find our PCGen path. Now, if you installed PCGen through the Windows installer, you'll want to, locate how you started PCGen. There's probably like a button on your start menu, and you can right-click on that button. I'll kind of walk you through it. Let's pretend that this was our button on our start. You would right click on it and you would go to properties, and then once you're inside properties, it will tell you where it's located in your computer, and there will be a button here that says open file location. You would select that, and that would actually open your PCGen folder, because that button in your start menu is just a shortcut. And then once you finally get to where your PCGen is actually located, then that would be the folder that you would grab out of your path there. So, but since I know where my folder is, which is again why I recommend using the portable folder, the zip file extracted, my program launches, you have to pick that folder, so you have to browse to it. So for me, I browse, I know I put it in downloads, and here it is. So I just select it. You're literally selecting your base PCGen folder, right? The folder that has the PCGen.bat file in it. That's the folder that you pick. You know you have it right because this comes up. If you don't have it right, it's going to give you a hard time. It's not going to let you do this. And then you can either update the PCGen base files. So now instead of downloading that zip off of GitHub, my program can do that for you. You can see that we've never updated this because this is a new instance. And then I have my Homebrew, which is technically Randy's Homebrew on here. Also, if you have a buddy or a friend who has some Homebrew stuff that you want to keep updated, you can add a new source, and you have to use a GitHub URL, and you name it whatever you want. It just has to be a unique name, and you can add source. You can add as many sources as you want, to your heart's content. And I'm just going to check Kai's Homebrew and hit update selected sources. Now what's this going to do? First, it's going to take a backup of your current PCGen data folder. Why does it do that? Well, nothing's perfect, and if it screws something up, I would rather not be to blame. So it will create a backup for you. It keeps a couple of backups. It keeps today's backup. It keeps one backup from yesterday, and it keeps your oldest backup. So that way it doesn't keep a million backups forever, but it does, keep a couple of backups. And this is also nice because if you did update today and you found that something was broken, you can technically go backwards a little bit easier. So down here, you can see that we ran our backup, then it pruned old backups, which didn't get rid of any because we don't have a couple of them in there yet. And now it downloaded the Homebrew data, and it updated it successfully. So it's done. Right, the longest part was actually taking a backup of that data folder. So now if we come over here, we have a couple of new folders in our PCGen. We have the Kai data, which is basically the data from the program. And right here is that backup file. So if for some reason we needed to roll back, you could extract this and copy the data folder from in here back over into this PCGen data folder, right? If you added new stuff, you would first want to delete this main PCGen data folder and then copy the data folder over. And then other than that, we just have some config files and some technical logs of everything that happened for troubleshooting purposes if somebody was to have issues. This temp folder is just where it temporarily downloads before it extracts the new information into your main PC then folder. And update history is not in use at this time. Maybe future releases will use it. And so now if we were to go into our data folder, and for us it's Pathfinder and then Homebrew, you can see that we now have the Randy's Homebrew information in here. So that is how you can get the PCGen information updated if you like. And we're going to do one more thing together today for my friends. If you're from outside, thank you for visiting and watching. If you're part of our group, I'm going to show you real quick how to select the books for our campaign that we're playing with Pathfinder. So you'll go back to your main PCGen folder. You will select the PCGen.bat. Now, because we have that Homebrew data installed, you can select Advanced here. And this Homebrew is called Homebrew-Blair Special. And you would select Blair Special here. And this will show you all of the books, in the list that are part of this Homebrew and allowed to be played in this Homebrew campaign. And you would hit select it and you hit add selected. Now you take this current one and you remove it because we don't need any additional books. This has everything you need, and then you would hit load. And depending on your computer speed, I am recording right now. So things are a little bit slow, but there. And thank you for watching. Next time we will go over creating our character. Thank you and have a great day.